Yo, peace and blessings. Hey, I want to definitely welcome you back for another great episode of Scar Tissue Talk Show. And this is where you can find people to be able to tell their story and their testimonies, whether they were in an accident, born, with any type of disabilities, or was it maybe a car accident, maybe any type of self-inflicted wounds, gunshot victims, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, what we want to be able to get across is that everyone is still beautiful. It doesn't matter what you've been through, whatever type of scars you have, we are all beautiful because we are God's children and we are all equal, at the end of the day. And this is a platform where everybody can be able to tell their story in their own language, in their own man, in their own truth. So with that being said, I'm here today with a former guest and a famous artist out of Cincinnati, Ohio. A good brother of mine, B capital Banks. My brother Banks. What's good, brother? Salute to you. How you doing today?
What's up, man? What's up? Thank you for having me. It's a co-host again.
Man,
I
all day.
appreciate
You
it.
already know. Man, you already know, brother. It's always a pleasure, always an honor. You know what I mean? We had a great show. What was that? Sometime last year.
Yeah,
You were a
last year.
former guest and you was able to tell your story. You've been back and you've helped me to celebrate other people who have a testimony like you had a testimony. And today, we have another guest, and she's out of all the way from Cali. She's actually a good friend of mine. Um, so what I mean, hey, since we already running a little late, and I sorry for the technical difficulties. Everyone who's been waiting and being patient with us, I appreciate it. When you see this video, make sure you share this video. It's very important. But with that being said, I like to feature and bring on the one and only CEO of Twixx in the Mix Productions. She's a content creator and she's also a host, and she does really big things in her community on the West Coast. I like to bring in my friend Twix, and she's go by Twix, straight like that. So we're
Straight
gonna
like
bring
that.
Twix on the screen right now. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna bring the flyer down so we can see how beautiful she looks today.
Oh,
Welcome to the show, Queen. Peace to you.
thank you. Thank you for having me.
How you doing?
Yeah, no,
I'm
absolutely,
good.
absolutely.
I'm very blessed to
Um,
be here.
yeah, and because we have some feedback and I don't know exactly where it's coming from, so what I'm gonna do is so like when you're talking, who's ever talking, we just gonna each of us just mute our mic for everyone. So, but first, let me just I just welcome you to be here though, quick. I'm grateful that you're here, and I want to just kind of jump right into it. I'm ready. We ready when you are. But basically, many people have scars. Many people have survived many things, and I understand, to my knowledge, that as a child you went through a very tough ordeal and you survived. And with that being said, I just welcome you to share your story, Queen, if you could. So I'm gonna mute my mic, and it's just tell us what happened. And in time market, and like, what year that was, what happened, maybe the city, the state, whatever the case may be, anything you like to share that helps give us all the visual so we can all relate as an audience. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. My accident happened at the age of 3. It was 1980 in Los Angeles, California. I'll say in LA County. I was born in Sierra Madre, which is a small city right next to Monrovia, Pasadena. So when you all were hearing about those Eaton fires that really burned down our city, that was part of, that area. Um, that being said, or it was close to it, right? Neighbors. So at 3 years old, I was at my babysitter's house, and you guys know who Richard Pryor is, yeah? Famous comedian. Okay. So in June of
Absolutely.
1980, he had a freebasing situation where he got high and poured alcohol on his body and decided to light himself on fire. So when he did that, he went to Sherman Oaks Burn Center, and he was there for about 6 weeks. And when he was leaving out of Sherman Oaks Burn Center, I was going in. So my situation was my mom was a business owner. She was a master barber, so she owned a barber shop in Altadena. I'm at my babysitter's house. I'm playing with her two boys, and you guys know the little um I don't know, it's like a little thing you pull, the little silver ball moves all around and it's trying to get to the other side. Well, theirs didn't have a plastic cover on the top of it. So me being the girl and the youngest, guess who gets to go and fetch the ball every time it pops out of the game? Me. So um my babysitter, she was in the kitchen, she was on the phone, she was cooking and distracted, having herself a good time. The kids were fine. We were in the living room. But here goes this ball. Now, what she was prepping was dinner for her husband to come home, and there's crock pot. So remember, this is 1980. We didn't have the sturdy TV stands that we have now. We had those little rickety, um, metal ones. I don't even know if it was metal. It may have been tin, as far as I know, but they weren't really, stable. So she had a crock pot sitting on it, and she was making pig feet for her husband for dinner. I run around the table, get the ball. Instead of running that way, which I could have just made a whole U shape. I went back the way I came. And when I went back the way I came, I nudged the TV stand, and the whole thing fell on me. So I had oil and boiling water and all the stuff, and they panicked, and I didn't know what was going on because now I'm hurt, I'm burning, I don't know what's happening. And so the boys, they rush, they get towels. She told go, 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 go. They come back, they get towels. Wrong move, please, you guys. Anytime that happens, do not put anything dry on something that's damaged like that. So what it did was it adhered to my skin, and then when they tried to take it away, it would tear at my flesh, right? So they put me in the bathtub. Now I'm drenched, right? Now I'm in the bathtub. From what I can recall, because remember I'm three, but this is so vivid. It was just that traumatic for me. Um, they call my mom. We leave from her house, which I don't know what city she lived in. We go to the barbershop. That's all I really remember until now. I was in Sherman Oaks for about 3 months, um, going through various surgeries, various grafts. The worst part of it all, those long yellow loofahs that you can get at the pharmacy or the medical supply store before you wet it, you know how hard and scruffy it is. They literally had to put me in this bath, and they had to scrub my whole everything. And that shit hurt so bad. Excuse my language, but it hurt so bad. Um, and remember, I'm three. So when I get out of there, my mom is like, you know what? I'm trying to build this business, and I don't want my distraction to cause you any more harm. So she then shipped me up to her dad and stepmother, my grandparents, in Bakersfield. So I was raised there for a lot of my life until pretty much out of high school, some of college, and a lot of it. And then I moved back to LA once I became an adult. But I have third-degree scarrings on my legs, my ankle, my arm. This one right here I can share because it's the most visual. But this is my left arm. I don't know if you guys see that. Yeah. So that's my left arm. And because I guess it blends in, or I don't really give it a lot of attention. Nobody else really gives it a lot of attention either. So I've been blessed in that respect. This one right here, you might see a little bit. This one right here, I called a balloon because it had bubbled up to about this big. It was just full of liquid, and they had to pop it, and it was just a very interesting situation for a 3-year-old to go through. But what I was talking to my sister earlier, and I said, you know what? I'm counting out these weeks because my my timeline starts with Mr. Richard Pryor, may he rest, right? Because I have to code it by that because again, I was a baby. But He was in the hospital for 6 weeks. So if he went in June 9th, he came out about July 20th, July 21st ish, and that was my mom's birthday weekend. And I had to call my sister when I really realized because she never told me that. She was not like, I was turning such and such when this happened to you or any of that. So she never, God rest her soul too. She never put that, like, I never had to carry that weight. Like, dang, I messed up my mom's birthday weekend. Like, I didn't do it purposely, of course, but you never know how a person will internalize that. But she never put that on me. So, not until today. I was today years old when I realized that. But that is my story. Um, didn't have too much difficulties, thank God. I was blessed in that respect to where. Um, the kids can be mean, but I didn't get that. I didn't get mean kids. I didn't get people clowning me. I didn't get people talking about me. A lot of people thought I was mean because I did end up going to a predominantly white school, so they really didn't mess with me. I guess they told me I guess I had a resting bitch face at a young age. So that's probably why I smile more now because I'm like, that's not me. That's not my personality. But I didn't really have too much negativity going on, and I'm blessed all through school. Not until maybe out of high school, and it was the smaller kids will notice it, right? Because they're kind of right at that level, and so I use it as a teaching tool. Honestly, I'm like, you don't want anything like this. When your parents tell you, do not run in the kitchen, you listen because this can happen, and I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? So I try to take this and just make it a positive situation as much as I can. But yeah, but that's my story.
First, I just want to send my prayers. I just want to send my prayers to you quickly. Quick, I'm sorry. I want to send my prayers to you. God bless you. Thank you so much for sharing that story. I know it's got to be very difficult. I understand that because you were so young. I can't imagine how many times you told this story. But I mean, man, it's still dear to heart. You know what I mean? It makes us all feel some type of way because sometimes we just don't realize how blessed we are, and that's the thing about life. Someone always has it worse or in a worse condition than the next person. You know what I mean? Or whatever one would consider worse. One consider something better, and some can consider something worse because everyone looks at their own situation because you're used to yourself. So I definitely want to get the Banks and allow him to ask the first question since he's my guest host today. But I definitely want to if he can pass the mic back to me, and we're gonna go back and forth. And I know he got plenty of questions because this is a very traumatic story. But go ahead, Banks, go for it, my brother.
Okay. I wanted to ask right when you said it. Honestly, like you said, sorry about that experience. I know how that can be like traumatic and just sort of like always on your mind and dealing with like I'm sorry. Did you like have a fear growing up like of like fire and like hot foods and like the kitchen itself? Like was there any like lingering like no, I don't even want to grab nothing out the oven or I don't even want to cook anything on the stove because of that experience?
I love to cook.
Amen to
Yep.
that. Me too.
Yep. Did it didn't what it did do though, I thought I wanted to be a surgical nurse
Mm,
after it took place because of how I was treated in the hospital. They treated me with such kindness even though it was uncomfortable. And it just made me want to do that. I didn't go into that field, but I'm still in the medical field adjacent. Um, but nope, didn't scare me at all. Made me just want to um so I guess want to it just wanted me to be better to people. It brought out my compassion earlier than probably it would have. um, because I know it taught me very, very young that people cannot control their circumstances at all times. It's not just always about your choices, it could be just the circumstances. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't know any better. I was going to get a ball and bring it back to the boys. You know what I mean? Because they wanted to treat me. I'm the girl and I'm the youngest, so you get to go and do that, do the dirty work. I understood it. It was whatever. And it was just one of those things. So it just gave me, I think, another level of compassion at younger than I probably would have established it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Um, you have a question?
Yeah. First, what are the appropriate questions, Banks? About lingering fears when it comes to fire. That's such an appropriate and just a perfect question to start. And I'm grateful that you asked that. My question would be, when it comes to, what do you know what percentage of your body? I mean, I know you was very small, very tender. I mean, you were somewhat of an close to being a, you know, um not far from an infant. You know what I'm saying? So do you know what percentage of your body was actually burned from this boiling water? Were you on mute?
Yeah, I was thinking, I don't know, like right off, I don't remember what they said, but based off of what I know now, I would say probably about hmm, maybe maybe 35%, because there's something on every limb. There's some sort of evidence of it somewhere. I have a light scarring on my stomach. I have a scar on my right hand, a scar on my left arm. I have scarring on my both my legs, on my ankle. So I would say probably about 35, 40, in between 35 to 45%. Yeah. And it's on the thighs, like my calf. Well, I can't even say that because my calf, my calf has a light scarring too, but that may have been from a skin graft when I was a baby, because that would have been one of the larger parts of the body at that time. Um, but yeah, because it's very faint. So, but yeah.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, and and also giving a little bit more intel and detail behind exactly where your scarring is on your body, because I know you had showed your arm, and we're not trying to have you show every scar. That's not necessary, but at least for you to be able to talk about it, to give people a visual of because obviously water when it splashes, go for it.
Um, yeah. Well, the other ones I wouldn't be able to show y'all, so we would have to be on OnlyFans to see something like that, and I don't have an OnlyFans, so we won't be able to do that tonight. But, um, but the ankle, of course, I would be able to show y'all. But yeah.
I did
Yeah,
have
I
a
think you
question
muted that.
about.
Yeah, go for it, Banks.
I was gonna just feedback off the scars because like as somebody who have like scleroderma and marks on my arm and stuff, like I'm not sure if you can see the brown marks over this body, but like I know you was 3 at first, so starting at a young age, I know it's my situation happened when I was 6. I know it built up character. You kind of go through these changes as a kid, from a teenager to a young adult to a adult. Like, did you have any insecurities when it came to like what you wore or like going swimming and certain things? Because I remember you said that the kids was cruel, and that's somebody who have a disability. Trust me, like kids have no filter, so I definitely can relate. And I have my ways of wearing certain clothing and trying to prevent that as I got older. So was that something that you still have or had as a child, or did you overcome those insecurities?
So, um, because of the most prominent scarring being on my left arm, it wasn't so difficult for me to camouflage. Um, I refuse, absolutely refused to wear shorts. I hated PE in high school and junior high because you had to dress out for it. And they all had, again, I went to a predominantly white school, so they are not trying to listen to nothing that you saying. You're going to put on what it is, the uniform, and that's it. I hated it because even though it covered up most of the scarrings on my thighs, there was still like a little inch or half an inch that would kind of show. And if I sat down or sat Indian style, then you would absolutely see what was going on. And I don't really want to talk about it so much. So I did my best, but I didn't have much, I didn't have very many people who knew. And then the ones who did, they love scars. So it was very interesting. My best friend in school, she loved scars. So for me, I really didn't have to deal with the hardship of it when it came from my peers because it wasn't as obvious. Yeah. And then I was more quiet in school. So I wasn't like, I wasn't out there. I didn't need to be in the midst of all the stuff. I was good. But I will say this, I will not wear if I wear a bathing suit, it has to have a sarong or it has to have some pants to it. I'm not just unless it's at night. I'll wear a bathing suit at night, no problem. But during the day, I have to be covered up. Yeah.
I was gonna say I could relate to the shorts thing. I'm not a like I wear basketball shirt stuff in the house or like on a hot day if I'm just like you know what, I'll just channel that inner like I don't care mentality and like might go to the store one time and but like on an outing or like doing something, not catching me wearing those type of shorts at all. So I get it, you know, like, even with gym and stuff like you said with PE, wasn't catching me change and that was just that what it was. I had to figure it out so I could relate.
It's definitely a lot. And then, they were like, oh, you gotta take showers. And then all the showers, you're just like, what? No, I'm not doing that. So give me PE last period. So I can just go to PE and then I go home. I'll take a shower when I get there. I'm not playing those games. I worked it, but I'm sure like you did, King, right? We work it. We gotta make it so that we can function through society comfortably and we tweak certain things. Um, I don't know if I've ever been absolutely comfortable in my skin, to be honest. I don't know. I'm comfortable in myself, but like being free to just like you said, even go to the store. I'll wear hoop shorts if it's past my knee, or like I guess they would call culottes, the old school term for like pedal pushers. I'll do that because it covers up mostly everything. If it goes past my knee, I'm good. If it's above my knee, we got to talk about this. It's a conversation. You know what I mean? But absolutely, we do tweak ourselves when it comes to those physical scars, and not because I'm ashamed of them. It's just that I don't want anyone to, I don't know, just look at me and just want like not want to ask the question. I'm here. I'm an open book to answer the questions, but don't look at me and be like, oh my gosh, because people will be like, oh, what's wrong with you? You know what I mean? I'm like, I was 3. What you want me to do? I didn't just go out here and do this to myself. You know what I mean? So, um, it's like those type of things that it's like still, I don't know how old we'll ever get if those things will ever subside. It's just a part of, I think, who I am at this point.
Yeah, and I love that you have accepted, and that's one of the hardest things, whether you have scarring or any type of disability, just in life as human beings, because people can be so cruel and evil in general. You know what I mean? It's just dealing with your own body, you know what I'm saying? Your self-esteem once you gain in confidence. So I can't imagine how it is for anyone who does have any type of disability or has been through something that, basically was born with. I mean, being 3 years old, because it's so long ago, you could almost, it's almost like you were born with it because this is before. you really start to, like Banks has said, about character and characteristics and personality. This is when you're starting to develop your personality at a young age. I believe that it starts around like 5 years old, because that's how far I can go back personally. Like five, I feel like I'm the same person as I was when I was 5 years old. Ain't nothing changed, but I got bigger. You know what I'm saying? Whatever like that. But I'm just the same mentality, same personality. I feel like. So with that being said, for those that were present, who you were playing with at that time, are any of those people still in your life? And then while you were growing up, did you feel them? Were they more sympathetic? Did they feel bad about what happened? Did they feel guilty? Did they treat you different, or did they treat you, you know, or did they you ever feel any type of jealousy because you may have gotten more attention because of out of the sympathy. I don't know. Does any of that relate to you?
Um, No, it doesn't. I did not. So when I came from the hospital, there was no going back. I don't think I've ever saw those people after that, to be honest. And that was because my mom's choice was as soon as she discharges, she's gonna go to Bakersfield. There was no going back to living or go not living there. That was still, I still had my room, I still had all my stuff, but it was just I didn't have a need for a babysitter anymore. And she was a good friend of my mom. From what the stories I recall, she did feel bad. She felt very guilty behind it. I think she thought my mom was going to sue her, but that wasn't the case. It was really an accident. You know what I mean? It really, really was. It wasn't a need to sue anybody for that. She was there. She was present. It's not like she was in the back room on the phone keying or something. She was alert. She was there. She was present. There was nothing to be mad at her about. It was genuinely an accident. And then as far as jealousy or anything like that, no, I didn't have. It's not like I got more attention than anything. Quite honestly, I am the oldest of three. So when I was 6, my sister was born. When I was 8, my brother was born. And by that time, although my mother was, she had moved back to Bakersfield with my brother's dad, and we were all coexisting and living and doing our thing. But he had his own vices, and so I became mommy number two. So while my mom was barbering, I was at home. And barbers, they're independent contractors. You don't know what they're gonna make from day to day. So she would work 6 days a week, sometimes seven. She would clean houses. She would do all kind of things just to make sure that her kids were taken care of. There was a roof over our head. We have food to eat. So what I would do is I would make sure we got to school, we did our homework, the house was clean, the food was made, and she could come home and she could actually relax and not have to worry and keep working after she's already probably worked 12 or 14 hours that day. So I didn't have enough time to see if people were paying attention to me because I'm a giver. I'm a caretaker. I wanted to make sure that she was fine, that my siblings were fine, and that didn't have any more stress than she needed. So I didn't really have to deal with that part. If it were to happen, I didn't experience it. I didn't realize it.
Okay, well, I appreciate you sharing that. I really do. Um, and I'm glad that you didn't have to experience any of that. And and now I do recall, like you said, your mom did move you away immediately. So it was impossible. I mean, though we live in a small world, so as we get older, people migrate, and you might run into someone that you might have seen. But with that being said, because I do want to continue to make this show educational when it comes to with whoever the guest is, to help our audience become more familiar with the person's world that they live in. So with that being said, do you have any like effects still from the burns? Because I don't know, like, is the skin like dead? Is it alive? I mean, I don't want to be rude the way I'm asking, but I understand you had skin grafts. But is anything like that affects you now to this day? I'm talking about physically with the skin that was burned that day. Is there any like residual effects behind that? I don't know.
There absolutely are. Again, with my arm, the sun, it's like its enemy. It's the nemesis for my arm. Because at the age of 10, I went back and had a skin graft, which it made more scarring, right? Because now they wanted to wait until I had enough body mass to actually do a proper skin graft on my arm. Honestly, it doesn't look any different to me. I went through all of that pain for no reason. That's how I feel about it. Um, because and then I have more scars for it. So, but what ends up happening is in the summer or when it's a hot day, I have to wrap it because if I don't, it's going to burn, like burn. It's going to be hot. It's going to feel like I'm getting a suntan, and it definitely is more sensitive. So I may be getting tans everywhere, but I'm going to feel the tan. You don't always feel when you're getting, your skin is tanning, but I feel that. I feel it, and it's not comfortable. Depending on how hot it is. Growing up in Bakersfield, it was torturous. Okay, so I had to always wrap my arm during the summer, spring, summer through fall. So my only relief from that was really in the winter.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that Twix because like I say, I didn't know, you know what I mean? That's not one of my area expertise. But yeah, you kind of went mute a little early. You were saying something about the winter. Also, could you finish what you were saying?
Oh,
You
I
you
didn't.
mute.
Okay, I didn't know that it cut off. The winter was the only time I had relief because I wouldn't have to worry about wrapping it up. But that summer when it starts to get hot, I would say maybe between April through September. I would buy, various ways. Bakers, if you know anything about Bakersfield, when y'all get to California, it is the southern valley of California, and it is a desert for the most part. It just sits in the midst of nothing, and it's hot and it stings. It stings, and that's what would happen. So I would look forward to those winter months, even though I love the sun. I love the sun. I love the warmth, but I couldn't wait for that, so I wouldn't have to keep. I have on my tank top or my shirts, my short sleeve, but then I have this bandana or this scarf or there's something wrapped around my arm. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, well, what happened? And then there is a sleeve called a Jobs that I would wear, and it's almost like wearing a compression sock, but for your arm. And it was supposed to help like smooth out the scarring, but I was a kid and I was just like whatever. So I didn't really train it the way I was supposed to and wear it the way I was supposed to through my adolescence. Um, but um, that everybody's like, oh, what happened? Because it looks like maybe I sprained my arm or I broke my arm or something like that. And it did make it a little bit easier. But like, oh, it's okay. I just hurt myself. It'll be all right. And they would just go on about their business. But as soon as I would say, oh, I had an accident when I was 3 and I'm just trying to protect my scar from the sun, then it goes into all the other like, oh, what happened? And, da, 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 da. And then they're like, oh, the last thing that I ever wanted was for somebody to feel sorry for me. I think that's probably one of the reasons why I shy away from certain conversations because I'm fine. I'm okay. It's not um, causing me any ailments or like it didn't bring any diseases or any infections. Or I don't have to take medications for any type of thing, thank God. Um, so it's just all about how I present, I guess. You know what I mean? And when people approach me about it, that would probably be the only thing. But again, for me, I don't know if I'm just like an oxymoron when it comes to this. I have just been very, 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 very blessed, and I know it, and I'm so grateful for it because I did go to another school. Now let me give you guys that. I did go to another school before my mom moved me out to the outskirts. I moved us to the outskirts. And that one I don't recall kids being mean, but I do know that I felt very uncomfortable in that setting. I felt very uncomfortable. And I don't know if it was so traumatic that I just erase it because I don't like to hold on to negativity. The more you guys talk to me, the more you get to know me, you're like, yeah, no. You'll be like, you remember I told you? Mm-mm. It was too negative. My spirit doesn't want it. You know what I mean? So I hear you. We can work through it while we're having a conversation. But as soon as we're done with it, I'm done with it because I don't want it. It's too heavy. You know what I mean? As long as you got what you needed, then I'm okay. And then I can let it go. You know what I mean? Until you come back and say, hey, that didn't work. Let's figure it out again. And we do it again, but I'm going to let it go because I don't want to hold on to that energy. So that I just remember that it was just very uncomfortable. And my mom was like, yeah, we're taking you up out of here. So
Yeah, Banks. I know you got some great questions. You know what I mean? You already started off hot with your questions already. I'll make sure to hear what you're gonna ask her next.
Yeah, so I do have two questions. I kind of wanted to go back to the part where you said, because my initial thought when you first had said that your mom moved you away because of her, just concern and business and stuff like that. I was wondering, was there any like did you feel away? Was there any like not resentment, but like you like I had to move away from where I was originally staying, and you had to just start a whole new process, even though you were only three. I don't know what age you were when you moved, but was there any like not resentment, but what was your feelings on that, and what was like your initial responses to that as you was there and got older?
I believe that when I first moved, probably because I was going to a private school. I was going to a private school, and I liked the school. I didn't have any resentment. Again, I learned very early. I guess I was a mature 3 year old. I don't know. But I had just turned three. My birthday is in May, May 14th. So this happening in July, I would just turn three. You know what I mean? And so I want to say I'm in there for about 3 months. Right at four-ish is probably when I moved to Bakersfield, right at four. Um, and or yeah, between 4 and 5. So the only thing was I just wanted to be with my mom. You know what I mean? I wanted to be there with her, even if it was for a little bit of time. So I did go through that where she would come up and she would visit me and she would be like, all right, well, we're gonna go ahead and go to sleep. But I knew the times that she was like actually spending the night and I was gonna wake up and she would be there, the energy would be different. So when it's time for her to actually leave and go back to LA, she would wait for me to go to sleep. She would lay with me until I went to sleep, and then when I woke up, she would be gone. So that if I felt anything, it would be those times when I knew that she was gonna not be there when I woke up. But as a kid, you know, even as an adult, you can't always control your sleep, right? So I would try to stay awake because I just didn't want her to go. But that would be the thing. That would be it.
Yeah, okay. Also May babies, May 7th right here. Um um and the second question was, because I know you said that you don't like to, like, you don't feel like, you blessed and you okay, and people, you don't want nobody to feel sorry for you and those experiences. Like, do you feel like you had to grow, like you have to have that mindset and you grew into that mindset, or you just literally don't think like the scars and the burn marks and everything with the surgeries and everything that you went through is a valid or like as bad as certain things in life, so you just don't complain about it, or you don't like feel like there's anything wrong with you? Because as I got older, like with my disability, like I don't want sympathy. I never like to not I wasn't shy away from it, but I'll be like, man, I'm good, like I'm okay, like there's nothing really wrong with me. If anybody asks, I'll be okay. But then there is moments where you realize like okay, I really did go through an experience. I do have a disability. I am whatever they call not the normal, not the average person. So I know that for me, we can get in our mindset where we need to just channel that we good mentality. So is that something that you feel like you just done on your own, or do you legit think like I'm just okay, like I'm not even gonna acknowledge it to be that big of a deal?
So, um, yes, I absolutely have to have those conversations with myself. I don't shy away from the approach or the inquiry from people. I'm here to answer it, but I don't put myself out there to invite the questions, I guess. Um, because I am uncomfortable with it because I've seen people, treat other people differently for less. So if you get to know me as a person, then I feel like you'll be more receptive. But I don't know because I don't get that close to individuals where they would have to see those other scarrings like that anyway. You know what I mean? That's not for everybody anyway because I don't wear shorts, so it makes no difference. But as far as excuse me, as far as the psychology of it all, oh yeah, yeah, I have those conversations with myself too.
Yeah, I don't know why that it cuts off a little bit early while you still talking. When you mute it, it's like them last
Oh,
couple of words, maybe the last sentence that you saying, it keeps doing that. But if you could just repeat that last portion of what you were just saying, please, just for the audience.
absolutely.
Appreciate
Yeah, I was saying that I do the psychology part of it. Yeah. Because I don't want to be viewed as different or excuse me real quick, gentlemen. I don't want to be viewed as that because I know me and I know that I have more to give, but I use it as a lesson. You know what I mean? Whenever it comes about internally, I wish that I could be comfortable in my skin enough to, wear the shorts or not care about the scarring and just be like, this is me, see me shine. I don't care, love me or leave me alone. Like, but I haven't arrived there yet. I would like to one day and not really care, but at this point, it actually has given me it helped me set a tone for myself, if that makes sense. It helped me protect myself from doing things that most adolescents probably would do. It helped me think about what I did before I did it. I was definitely the kid that was like, I told my mom, my friends would be like, hey, you want to go out? You want to do that? And my mom was she let me kind of do whatever I wanted to do. I just didn't do it. I had all the freedom in the world. I just didn't utilize it. I didn't take advantage of it purposely. You want to go out? That's fine. Da, 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 da. Because of the way that I assisted, I helped her in the house, so she knew my maturity level. But I had no desire to go out and hang out with people that I knew was going to be driving fast and drinking and driving and doing drugs. I wasn't doing any of that stuff. That wasn't any interest to me. So I didn't want to go out. So they would call me and I'd be like, say no. I don't want to know. Oh no, Tanika's not gonna be able to go, and that would be it. You know what I mean? I'd be like, no, my mom said no. It would just irritate my soul, but she would be like, yeah, because she didn't hear my get my signs. I just never wanted to put myself in a position of any risque type of activity. I just didn't. I didn't like it, and I think it was because of me protecting myself, honestly. Me protecting myself from what could happen. I never knew if it would happen, but I was very just protective over me and where I was and what I did and who I was with. And so, that would be definitely how I handled that and how I appreciate it actually, to be honest. I appreciate my scars. They do have moments that make me you know, wish that they weren't there so I could wear certain things as a woman, but and feel comfortable and confident while I do it. But outside of that, I appreciate them because it stopped or it didn't even let me get to a thought of doing something outside of my character. You know what I mean? So that part I appreciate that part about it. Okay, I'm a mute now.
No, thank you so much. Another great series of questions, Banks. I really appreciate your thought process and just how much you're paying attention to what everything Twix is saying to be able to give her a proper rebuttal to come up with these great questions that you're asking. I've definitely been slipping on my game right now because I have not showed not one comment, and you already know TMP Village is in the building. You know what I mean? Out in Cali, you know what I'm saying? They definitely been showing love, so I definitely before I get to my next question. I'm going to double back and I'm going to rewind and I'm about to show each comment that I've missed one by one, and it's come in early. So first, it was actually by Twix herself, TMP Village. so so let me see. I'm just gonna go down the line though. We're gonna go down the line. I'm not gonna be able to read every one. A lot is just emojis, but this is the famous Monster Yo out of Cali. You know what I'm saying? He checked in to show love. He been here for a long time actually. Appreciate you. Peace to you, brother. Yeah, and actually while I'm showing this, Twixie, could you remind them how they can support you? And so I'm gonna go on mute, but I'm about to still be pressing these buttons, showing all the emojis and the comments real quick. And if you can just tell them, remind them how they can support you, please.
So as the CEO of Twix Mix Productions, we are like home of everything indie. If you are an artist, if you are a business owner, if you are thinking about becoming a business owner, if you're contemplating wanting to be an artist, anything that's your power getting off the ground. We do our best to support you. We do our best to provide exposure for you. We are a small village that continuously grows, and we have great, 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 great crew. So with our team, once we believe in you and we support you, you have all of us just shooting out all of your stuff. So not everybody that follows me follows all my crew and vice versa. So there's so many different avenues, different people that can be introduced to you, your artistry, your business, your goals, and just the collaboration of it all. You know what I mean? Um, I'm generally most active on Instagram, so Twix Mix Productions or my government Tanika Allen. You can find me there. There's also TMP or Foursquare Music. You can find me there. Um, on TikTok, Twix Mix Productions, and on Instagram, Tanika Allen. So I do have some Twix Mix Productions on Facebook as well. I'm just not active on those pages at this time. Um, I was previously executive producer for Revolutionary Radio. I do have a Facebook page on Facebook for them as well. Um, not active at this time, but they are really great people. So, but we have a show coming up in LA on March 21st. So, the biggest way to support TMP right now is to purchase a slot. And let me let me retract that. Not purchase a slot. I want you to invest. Invest in yourself. We have $100 slots, $75 slots, and $50 slots. Now they all have different time frames for your music. So you may get one, you may get two, you may get three, depending on how long your tracks are. Or if you have a good DJ Have them do a mashup of your show, and you can get multiple things in there, right? If you need it, we got a DJ that can do it. We got engineers that can do it, so you never are without. Um, but the beautiful part about what we do is that we do not have you go out and sell your tickets and bring us back the money. We do not have you just give the money and then you get nothing back. The goal is for you to be able to learn how to really hustle for yourself. A lot of people like to sit behind the screen and do a lot of advertising there, but that's not going to get it. It's not. So, um, we have, we do artist management. People don't do that anymore. They don't even know what that is. So we don't just hit the people that come to us full force, but we give them gems. We give them, did you get this done? Have you thought about this? Kind of like that, like gentle guidance when it comes to it. So what we do with the tickets is you invest, you buy $100 slot, you buy whatever slot has a set of tickets with it. You keep what you make from those tickets. You buy it for you invest in yourself for $100. You get those 10 tickets. You want to sell them for $10 and make your $100 back? Your prerogative. You want to sell them for $20 and make double your money back? It's up to you. We give you the tickets. You want to give them all away and just invest and have everybody show up for you? It's up to you. But what you will do is have your tickets to go out there and make sure that people know what you are doing and not just expect the crowd to be there just because. You know what I mean? So we do our best to help our community, not drain them. We want to be teachers. Myself, I have a book out with my studio called You Are One of One. It's available now on Amazon. I implore you all to go out and get it because it's like it's the okay to be in love with yourself. It's okay to be in love with yourself. No ego. It's just I have to make sure I'm okay so that I can make sure you're okay. And the analogy that I use is if you've ever flown, what do the stewardess tell you? When the oxygen mask falls, who are you going to put it on first? You. Put it on you so that you can help them. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to do. We have to remember to love us so that we can love others. Um, in addition, the Vegan Queen, she wrote a book that Masuyo co-authored, and it's called Reflected Mirrors. And it's like we didn't sit down and we didn't talk about this. You Live 101 came out, and Your Reflected Mirrors came out, but when we talked about them together, it was almost like you need both of them. One holds hands. It's almost like twins. You know what I mean? And so they're both available on Amazon now. I encourage everybody to go out and get them. They're definitely self-help reminders. And then it's acknowledgement of some things or validation of others that you may have already been thinking about, things that you may just be introduced to, but it's all about you and how you are important and you're priceless and you're worth it and you are loved. And that's what we like to do at TMP.
Nah, thank you so much for that. All that's neat information. I definitely want to second that. And just you such a great person. You have such a great spirit, Twix. I'm so proud of you and everything that you're doing and all of your work and philanthropy that you do in your city. Much love to you. Congratulations on your new book. Congratulations on the new event that you have coming. I believe that's March the 21st. I was reminded by the one and only the famous vegan queen herself. And I want to definitely salute out the vegan queen because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have the pleasure to be able to meet and connect with you, you know what I mean, who are so awesome. You know what I mean? I definitely want to shout out everyone that's on the live that came through, in the chat. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Dr. Dominique Peterson who checked in, PhD, HD. I appreciate her. She's here in Chicago. She's a good friend of mine, someone that I work with. She was in the chat. and everyone that was in the chat. Of course, Monster Yo, the famous Monster Yo. So man, much love to everyone. And actually, the show will be concluding soon, but I just want to ask, basically like one more question because I really want to tap deeper into your psyche because you're such a powerful person. And I know this because I've had the pleasure of having many conversations with you. We've networked many times. You've been on a couple of my um shows on this platform, and I'm grateful for your time. But when it gets just deeper into the psyche, like how have you used your scarring to help you to, as you look at this every day of your life, to just remind yourself that hey, to remind the world that I'm just as good, I'm just as smart, I'm just as um intelligent, I'm just as needed, I'm just as gifted as the next person. And how have you used this to influence and use this to motivate yourself in this world that we are living in today's society, or do you feel like you use that, me just knowing you, I just feel like you use this as a additional motivation, not that you need that because you already a powerful spirit, but I just feel like that, just based on the conversation I've had with you, could you expand on what I'm speaking of, or if that even relates to you?
So, like I shared, going through the experience initially, I thought, as you know, elementary school, even into junior high, I'm going to be a surgical nurse. I just knew that that's what I was going to do because of how I was treated, and I wanted to give that back. I wanted to embody that love, that compassion, that understanding, and I wanted to give that back to the people. And so I that's what I do. I do it every day. Because I have been under the weather, I've missed yesterday and today of work, and it's bothering me. I'm the type of person that would rather go to work sick and have them send me home. But I've been blessed to have an office um, out here that's pretty much by myself. My colleagues, they go off into the city. They do things out in the field where I'm pretty much in the office by myself for most of the time. So I it's just a little different, right? But what what the Lord told me to do is, well, he tells us all, right, to take care of the children and the elders. So for me, and my passion is taking care of the elders. I have been an activity director for convalescent hospitals. I have been a social service director for convalescent hospitals. I have gotten my administrative license, my RCFE, to own my own facility to run it. And then I have done placement and all of these things, working with various insurances for now with the community care agency. So we help people who are on Medi-Cal or who have various insurances find placement in housing, disabled, homeless, um, young people with mental health issues, different things like that. So that's how I utilize all of this. And honestly, you know what? I don't know how much of it was just me as my character. That's always going to be like a thing for me. I don't know if it was always just me and my character, or if this situation aided in that, because again, being 3 years old, I don't really know. I just know that it had a major impact on me, and I never, what it did do is this, it allowed me to never prejudge a person. I don't judge, period. I don't even have it in me. You can, and I believe in evolution, right? In a person's evolution. I cannot ask you, hey, this is bothering me. Can we talk about this and find a happy medium? And then you say, yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I give you no time to do it. Well, how are you ever supposed to prove it if I don't give you time, right? So I don't hold people to what they did. I give you an opportunity to show me that you want to do different. And then if you don't do different, then we have a conversation. But I don't judge. And I think that this has helped me with that because I don't want to be prejudged because of something that you don't know or understand. Give me the opportunity to communicate with you as I do with you. Just the fairness of it all. Oh, and before we close out, I have to give a shout out if that's okay. I want to give a shout out to my core crew, DJ Booyah, DJ Bugatti, UL, who is going to be our headliner for March 21st, and the vegan queen Cherie. I have to all of our faithfuls every morning. Monday through Friday. Booyah asked me to take the weekend off because he knows I've been under the weather. But every day, Monday through Friday, we started doing weekends. I think we're taking this one off. But 5 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we do TMP walks with gratitude, where we just come in, we join one another, we show gratitude, we set our intentions for the day, we have fun, they crack jokes, we talk about what's going on in the news, and then we go on about our day. It lasts for about an hour to about an hour and a half. But I just wanted to make sure to all our TMP Walks with Gratitude crew, shout out to you guys, and then shout out to my team. I love them very, very much.
No, absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate you so much. And again, shout out and much love to your team. Big salute to TMP Village. You already know. And I can't forget about my brother right here. I'm very gracious that you showed up for me once again. My brother Banks out of Cincinnati, Ohio. If you could, what I'm saying, could you leave the audience with your information, how they can support your platform? And if you got any new music out, anything like that, or the latest songs, whatever that you promoting, because you do a host of many things yourself. Please reintroduce yourself for my peoples.
Yeah, again, thank you for having me. I love it. I love doing stuff like this. It just opened my mind to a lot of things. Before I explain myself and go about my day, everything that you said before, amazing. Need more people like you on this earth. Shine bright. Keep going. Um, I go by Banks. I'm just Banks on Instagram. I am JUSTBANKS. My music is Banks with abbreviations B dot A dot N dot money sign dot, which I'm probably gonna change one day. That's just a lot. I am working on the EP. It's called Love and Music. With my music is normally storytelling or just my fun vibes or something soulful. And with this one, I'm kind of channeling, my young man love side, but enabling to put that within the music. I do have something dropping Valentine's Day, a visual and a song called Love Jones. I'm not sure if y'all seen the movie Love Jones, but it's one of my favorite movies. It's kind of around there. It's not too old school. It's a little modern day twist. Been promoting that. The EP, I don't have a release date for that, but it's gonna be a couple good vibes on there. Um, and yeah, many more visuals to come for the rest of the year. Um, I'm going to DM you Twix about the show in March and the book because I definitely want both of those links. Um, and yeah, I'll be turning 30 this year in May, so I'm just blessed and highly favored. That's all. I'm just trying to live my life and continue to do more stuff and just live, live, and live.
Amazing. I look forward to it. I want to get you on in the mix with Twix too.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yes, absolutely. That's what it's all about. Again, everything that I do is all about networking, continue to try to bring all of us together. You know what I mean? I had the pleasure of knowing Twix. I had the pleasure of knowing you, Banks. And, I definitely want to connect you all. And, that's definitely going to happen. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that you all are receptive to wanting to work together or continue to network because that's what it's about, especially with this show right here, Scar Tissue Talk Show Season 1. This is actually episode 10. And we just featured the most talented and beautiful Twix representing TMP Village, Twixx in the Mix Productions. And so thank you so much, Queen, for being here. Thank you so much, my brother, Mr. Banks, you know what I'm saying, AKA, you know what I'm saying? Big salute to you out there in the Ohio. Thank you for everyone that tuned in tonight. Make sure you all share this video. You never know how someone's testimony can help the next person in their everyday life struggles, you know what I'm saying, their battles, you know, what they're going through. Because a lot of people, we're going through a lot of things and we don't always express what we're feeling. So that's why it's so important and so dear and so necessary to have shows like this and to just have conversations like this. So I'm just so grateful that God blessed me with a dream one night and I woke up with this episode. I mean, I woke up with this vision for this show and I just moved forward and you know with courage and I'm just gonna keep going with it, you know what I mean? And hopefully continue to help bring out more stories and so everyone can share their truth behind their scars. And this was another episode of Scar Tissue Talk Show. Um, we actually gonna be airing another one next Thursday, so you can catch us again. And our next guests, you know, I'm excited to celebrate them too. So with that being said, much love. Continue to just show love to everybody. Any final thoughts you all like to share? I'm going to mute myself and just, you know, and then I'm going to cut the live.
I just want to tell you thank you. I am very honored to be here. I'm thankful for you both. You guys are so kind. You're so professional, and you asked really good questions. You made me think. You made me have to dig back a little bit, and really answer some things that I probably hadn't thought about in a while. So thank you both for this opportunity. I do not get to talk about this very often, and to this extent, no. So thank you for this opportunity. It's definitely been a pleasure.
I want to say thank you both, honestly, for giving me this opportunity to even discuss this as well. Thank you for sharing your story. And I got this motto that I just stand by and I live by. Just keep shining. Like, don't let nobody dim your light wherever you go. Always shine bright and just keep going. And YOLO, like literally YOLO. So just keep shining. And thank you again.
Yep. So with that being said, again, thank you both. God bless you both, and may God continue to watch over you and all your family and friends, your family, your circle, your cipher, your household, your church. You know what I mean? Just continue to, you know, just continue to stay strong. You know what I mean? With you know everything that you all go through that I can't even relate to. So just much love to you, and that I mean that most sincerely. And with that being said, hey, you already know if anybody said it, if they ask, I said it straight like that. I don't know. Catch you next time, next Thursday on Scar Tissue Talk Show, season 1. Blessings, multiply in abundance because I said it. We gone.